Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, yesterday I wrote a title concerning a call between RAILA and Modi. Many of you doubted it, but I didn't want to justify that part because that is actually the information I got. Now, I want to confirm to you in this analysis that indeed there was a call. Now, first and foremost, I want to take you to this delegation that traveled to Mumbai.
It is also important to note that the government has dispatched a high-level team consisting of government officials, family,
to receive RAILA ODINGA's body. First and foremost, I will update you on this flight. Now, Foreign Affairs CS, that is Musalia Mudavadi, led the delegation. That is information that you already know. And now they were traveling to Mumbai, India on a KQ flight A2002, Boeing 737-3HX. And I understand it is the second most tracked plane in the world. The whole world. Let me be honest. The second most tracked plane in the whole world. Is it that amazing? I mean, the whole world just tracking this plane that is going to receive, carrying delegation that's going to receive RAILA ODINGA, you know. Now, the second thing that I'd like to update you on is that there is information that the barrel is set for Sunday because RAILA had a will that when it passes on like now, at least as Kai Sana, at least 3 days, yeah, there was a reason why he said so. Because one, he knew that it was going to affect the nation, and honestly speaking, many have been affected by this death. The political opponents and the political friends, all of them, they have been affected. Now, let me take you to the real reason why my point on RAILA call, the call between RAILA and the Prime Minister Narendra Modi was true. Now, you've all heard this story that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has facilitated the return of RAILA ODINGA body to Kenya aboard an Indian Air Force plane. Now, Indian Air Force military jet will bring RAILA home. Do you think any person can be accorded such a respect? I mean, honestly speaking, it was just a call that I talked about. Look here. The government of India is now offering to repatriate the body of RAILA ODINGA aboard an Indian Air Force plane. Let me just complete the word, an Indian military Air Force plane. That means Modi and RAILA, there was some deep connection, you know. India considers RAILA ODINGA as its friend, especially when he was the Prime Minister. That is the time this relationship between Kenya and India grew. It grew further, you know. And when RAILA ODINGA was the AU infrastructure head, again, the relationship between the two nations grew further because RAILA kept on, you know, visiting India and, you know, coming up with projects that would help India in terms of the relationship between India and Africa. So RAILA is Modi's most trusted friend. So if I said that there was a call, there was a very good reason why I said so. And in fact, there was a call between the two leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I also like to take you to some development here because there is some information that RAILA ODINGA is going to be given full state funeral with full military honors. Now, that is accorded to someone like a president.
The government of Kenya has decided to give the Honorable RAILA ODINGA a state funeral.
So is this a confirmation that the government is suddenly realizing that this person actually alipokonyo urais kweli, he ought to have been the president? I mean, if you look at what is happening right now, you know, someone has died. Let me just take you back to when Kibaki died. Oh, let's focus on when Moi died. The mood right now that is being felt in Kenya and the whole world and Raila was not the president. And the mood that was felt back then when Moi died, you see there's a very huge difference there. What about Kibaki? Very, very huge difference. I won't comment about Kenyatta, Jomo Kenyatta, because I was not there back then. I'll be honest with you. For those of you who were there back then when Kenyatta died, somewhere there 77, 78, you can just share below in the comment section and tell us whether the whole world suffered the way right now the whole world is suffering. What concerns me the most is the fact that the Indian Prime Minister has offered to repatriate Raila Odinga's body. The show of respect, ladies and gentlemen. But then something is coming up here. Now, if at all this 30-member delegation went to India, the question is, what are they all going to do there? Because one thing you need to note is that there's the expense going there and coming back. The expense is huge. And if at all the Indian government has offered to do that, why couldn't they just send 10 people or rather 5 people? This CS, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and probably some senior government officials, representatives, probably, and Ida ODINGA. But of course, let us not doubt the fact that these people have gone there. I know the connection, the deep connection between Raila and this team. I was looking at Musalia Mudavadi on that plane. I could tell that Musalia Mudavadi was deeply affected. Musalia Mudavadi is one of those people who thank Raila Odinga, because if I may take you to 202, and Musalia Mudavadi was with Moi, and Moi gave him the vice president position, which lasted shortly. And Uhuru could not win, because if Uhuru had won, maybe Musalia Mudavadi would have been the vice president, but Uhuru didn't win. So Musalia Mudavadi was left in the political cold. So that was 202. But then heading over to 207, Raila kept on going, convincing Musalia Mudavadi to come to his camp. And Musalia Mudavadi agreed. And that's how his political, he bounced back into politics. And Raila made him the deputy prime minister. Remember, that's the main reason why Raila and Ruto hawakuelewana, because Ruto fought for Raila. The expectation was that maybe that position was going to be given to Ruto, the deputy prime minister, but it went to Mudavadi. The other deputy prime minister went to Uhuru Kenyatta. So that is really what happened. So that connection between Raila Odinga and Musalia Mudavadi iko juu. Forget the 2022 decision by Musalia Mudavadi not to support Raila Odinga, but the connection between the two iko juu. That's why you find that in that plane, sura ya Mudavadi ilikuwa inaonyesha kwamba ni mtu ambaye amehuzunika sana. Yeah? I don't know how many of you observed that, but that's what I observed, ladies and gentlemen. So, one thing to note here is that the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has offered to repatriate Raila Odinga's body. That is what he expects, ladies and gentlemen. So perhaps if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.